Hey, what's up? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Thanks for being here to watch my video. I'm Sam. This is it. During this time during isolation, I'm sure everyone's mental health and mental wellness is taking a serious hit, mine included. I'm really hoping that a lot of people are trying their best to focus on their mental health and their mental wellness during this time. I know that my mental health and mental wellness is something I'm definitely focusing on right now, and this video is definitely going to help better explain why. When Alessandra released this ebook and this 21-day challenge, I was super excited about it. A, because she's my friend. B, because this is just right up my alley. I've really been digging deep into spirituality and just finding more about myself and like what it means to be a person, a human, a part of the universe, all of that. Alrighty, so what is Aspire with Alessandra? Aspire with Alessandra is a 60-page ebook that was written by Alessandra Stenta. We grew up together in Ottawa. We went to the same high school, really good friend of mine. She's working out in LA right now as a professional dancer, entertainer, and she's also trained as a yoga instructor, so she has a lot of background in this. She also has a Bachelor of Science, so she also has a scientific background as well. So she's a very smart and talented girl, so very proud of Alessandra. So this 60-page ebook also includes a 15-minute guided meditation that is of course recorded by Alessandra herself. This entire program is based around mental wellness and just creating a very balanced lifestyle that is true to you and that will really fulfill the life that you truly want. And she couples this like spirituality part very well with science to back up, you know, her explanations and reasonings why. Basically, this ebook helps you deep dive into a self-discovery and really determine your true goals and ambitions. Included in the ebook is a 21-day wellness challenge. So that's what this video is going to be. I have partaken in the 21-day wellness challenge, and basically I'm here to give you a review on my experience and hopefully encourage a lot of you to partake in this particular wellness challenge, or you know, just make changes in your everyday life to help benefit your own mental health, your own mental wellness. Make sure you're staying on top of yourself, staying positive, keeping a really open mind. So if this is your first time here, I only posted a couple of videos so far, but I'd really like for you guys to, if you enjoy the rest of this video anyways, please like the like button down below, and please consider subscribing to my channel, just because it's nice to know that some people would be watching any future videos that I would plan to make. So part 1. Reason for being. So the part 1 is consisting of 5 mini chapters, and within these mini chapters include a series of questions. So these questions are helping for you to really reflect inwards, take a deep dive into yourself, really digging deep into finding out your truest, deepest desires, your goals, ambitions, and really trying to narrow down on what those specifics are. You're basically making a detailed visualization of what that dream life is going to look like for you in the future. This is extremely important for the rest of the program. So if you're going to partake in this, this is the section you want to spend absolutely the most time completing. This section is a perfect mix of science and spirituality. Alessandra definitely supports each of these spiritual concepts with scientific support, such as explaining the science behind neuroplasticity. In a nutshell, the power of positive thinking and why that actually works. Spoiler, visualization is seriously key throughout this entire program. Part 2, the morning ritual. So the idea of routines isn't exactly new to anyone, but these next 2 parts of the ebook I find give a very structured idea of what those routines should be looking like. So again, in this portion, Alessandra uses scientific evidence to help support all of the concepts she describes. Specifically, we're looking at the hormone melatonin and the role that it plays in the sleep-wake cycle. So Alessandra definitely highlights the importance of the first hour of you waking up, and this is deemed the golden hour. So the golden hour, as mentioned, is the first hour in the morning that you have woken up, and it's when your melatonin levels are the highest. So this is when you're going to still be in kind of like a sleepy state, and your subconscious is still going to have taken over, and that analytical part of your brain is shut down. Alessandra explains that super well in the ebook, so I'll let all of those explanations come from her. So this is when we're going to get into the morning ritual. right at golden hour. What is the morning ritual? So morning ritual should consist of 2 parts. So the first part of the morning ritual is the sunrise scribbles, and then the second part of the morning ritual is the 15-minute guided meditation. Sunrise scribbles is basically journaling. So you're gonna do freehand cursive handwriting to journal, and you're starting this journaling first thing when you wake up, when your melatonin's the highest and your subconscious is pumping. 15-minute guided meditation is an audio downloadable included in the program. And this, again, 15-minute guided meditation is recorded by Alessandra herself. It is very, very helpful when you're first starting meditation. If you've never meditated before, having a guided meditation is definitely a useful tool because it definitely helps you maintain your focus and helps to keep your mind from wandering all over the place. Alessandra provides people with 3 options for a morning ritual. 15 minutes, which would just be the 15-minute guided meditation. 30 minutes, which would include 15 minutes of sunrise scribbles and 15 minutes of the guided meditation, or the third option, which is an hour, and that would include 45 minutes of sunrise scribbles and then 15 minutes of the guided meditation. She definitely highly recommends having an hour, but of course she gives 3 options because not everyone has, the same amount of time in a day to be doing these types of things. Ale also mentions in this chapter that the 2 activities that you choose to do aren't limited to the sunrise scribbles and the guided meditation. She just mentions that these specifically are her most recommended activities where she's noticed the most benefits come from. Some other suggestions for activities that she mentioned would be helpful would also include things like stretching, drawing, or sitting in silent contemplation. I don't know how sitting in silent contemplation would be any different than meditating, but yeah, I don't know. Part 3, the wind down. As explained in part 2, melatonin and the subconscious mind play a critical role in the importance of the morning ritual, and there is no loss in importance when it comes to the end of your day when you're starting to get sleepy again. As explained in part 2, melatonin is the hormone that plays a role in helping to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. So as mentioned, it's the highest in the morning, first hour when you wake up, and it is also the highest levels the last little bit before you fall asleep. So your subconscious mind, again, is playing a very critical role in the wind down as well. So just like your morning ritual, the wind down consists of 2 parts. It's going to have your evening agenda and bedtime stories. So an evening agenda consists of 3 portions within itself. You're going to have a schedule for the upcoming day, a to-do list, either daily, weekly, whatever it may be for yourself. And then you're also going to include an end-of-day gratitude list. End-of-day gratitude list is actually my favorite part, but I'll explain why later. Basically, it's just very, very quick answers as to the things that you're most grateful for at the end of the day. The bedtime story is when you're ready for bed. So all the lights are off, you're not looking at any type of computer, phone, TV screens. You're in the dark, it's quiet, and this is where you're really gonna focus in on your visualizations that were created in part 1, and you're just going to start really focusing in on one of those visualizations, and that's what's going to help you fall off to sleep, and that's where your subconscious is going to start doing the work and manifesting this into a reality. Part 4, the 21-day wellness challenge. 21-day wellness challenge is pretty straightforward. For 21 consecutive days, you are going to complete both the morning ritual and the wind down. Before I actually started the challenge, I didn't really have any expectations. I was definitely going in with an open mind. I've never participated in a wellness challenge like this before, group or personal. I have much experience in journaling on a regular basis. I'm not someone who did any meditation unless going to yoga would kind of be considered that. But I mean, even then, I did, have somewhat of my own version of a wind down. I always make to-do lists, and I always try and have a good plan for what my upcoming day or days are going to look like. So some of it's not entirely new, but just going into the program, it's nice to have a very good structure of what to expect day to day. Before actually starting this program, some things about myself. Anxiety is something I definitely struggle with. There are days that I struggle with finding the motivation to get up and go, even though I have to. Just feeling very lethargic, not having any motivation, finding to have a lack of productivity, and just, no real excitement for life. So let's start breaking down my experience. Why are there so many cars? All should be home. Okay, so the breakdown of my experience. Let's start with the morning ritual. So first part of the morning ritual for me was always the sunrise scribbles. I decided to go with 15 minutes of that coupled with the 15 minutes of guided meditation to give me a morning ritual for the 30 minutes. Didn't want to commit to a full hour because I wanted to make sure that my goal of completing the challenge was actually obtainable. I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew. And I kind of felt like just doing the 15 minutes of guided meditation was kind of like a cop-out of actually participating. So again, sunrise scribbles, they're really weird to start at first. When you wake up and you're rolling out of bed, you like want to rub the shit out of your eyes. You want to go get a cup of coffee. I personally want to go take a hit of marijuana, so that's how I usually wanted to immediately start my day. So getting right out of bed just to like start writing about nothing really seemed like a very difficult concept to grasp onto at first, but I have to say it was super, super beneficial. Other than my hand cramping near the end of the 15 minutes, I had a really good time. A lot of the time, you know, you're not really going anywhere with what you're saying, but I find it to be a really, really good release of whatever you're kind of bottling up inside. You're getting all these random thoughts out. To go back later and look at what you've written in your journal entries and your sunrise scribbles, it's really interesting to see the growth that you have even within your random scribbling. I had so many deep, profound thoughts in the mix of writing about absolutely fucking nothing. Super interesting to see how deep you can actually get when you're only with yourself. Also want to mention, it's really nice to wake up in the morning and get to something that isn't opening your phone and starting to scroll through those apps. After not doing it, you really do realize what a negative influence that is on the rest of your day. So I have to say, not looking at your phone, even if that's the only change you make it. So the guided meditation for me was a serious learning curve. Like I mentioned, I had never before really done a lot of meditations. So sitting still when you first wake up was really tough for me. I was very fidgety. My mind was wandering all over the place, even with being guided. So this took me a few days to get into the rhythm, get into a comfortable position. Definitely a lack in focus when it came to sitting in my visualization. I think it was easiest for me when I was being fully guided by Alessandra to focus in on what was being described and me, you know, visualizing that. When I was sitting in my visualizations, haven't had a coffee, I've got cats crying and running around me wanting attention, so it could be difficult to get through. But I really have noticed benefits from it. Some things that are really, really helpful if you're new to meditation that I found helpful for myself anyways. One, use headphones or earphones. Just drowning out the rest of the distractions around you are going to be extremely beneficial. Two, if you have kids, make sure they're asleep. If you have animals, make sure they're asleep or lock them out. One of my cats, Baby Bear, has been a friggin' nightmare. He interrupts all the time and it's really just for love, so how could you hate on him? Cat's got his own routine. I mean, I can't blame him. Another helpful tip in terms of the meditation is if you're having trouble sitting in the visualization, I definitely try and think of every specific little detail I possibly can. If I'm in a room, I'm trying to think of what color the walls are, if the ceiling is speckled, if there's a window, what's on the other side of the window. Like, I'm thinking of every little detail I can, possibly. It somewhat helps. Not all the time. So when it comes to the overall morning ritual, I definitely noticed benefits, and I mean instant positive benefits even after the first day. Kind of like when you have instant benefits from working out. You have both short-term and long-term benefits for doing this. So after completing the morning ritual, I always have this really, really profound sense of clarity, motivation, ready to be productive. I already have a sense of accomplishment because I've just spent 30 minutes focusing and completing a task that, you know, is doing nothing but opening up my mind. There were days I didn't do my morning ritual immediately after waking up within that golden hour. Specifically on the weekends were tough for me when, you know, I'm laying in bed with my partner, having a coffee, having a chit chat, and just sometimes I didn't end up getting to my morning ritual until after. I gotta say, that's not entirely problematic. I did still see benefits from completing the morning ritual nonetheless. The meditation is helpful, I think, at any time of day, just taking that 15 minutes to yourself. And I think, of course, the sunrise scribbles are meant to be done within that first hour. So you may not be getting as much of those subconscious thoughts, but nonetheless, partaking and completing the morning ritual, even if it's not in that first golden hour, you're still gonna see some benefits for yourself. No harm, no foul type of thing. The wind down for me is probably the place where I was the most inconsistent throughout the entire challenge. Specifically when it came to the scheduling and the to-dos, it did cause some problems for me. So I'm someone who likes to follow a plan, but not too much of a plan. So if I have too much on my schedule or on my to-do list to the point I don't get any of it done, it ends up leading me into a very, very anxious place because I get overwhelmed and extremely frustrated with myself that I didn't end up doing shit on that list. So when I would put things on my list on a weekend and I really just wanted to spend the weekend chilling and having a good time, or, you know, just doing a fun activity and not, you know, something always productive, that would just cause more anxiety. So I'm definitely learned to fluctuate with how specific I am in the schedule, and that's just for me personally. If you're someone who needs to write every little thing down in your day to make sure that you're staying on track, do that. My absolutely favorite part of the wind down is the end of day gratitude list. So it's just 3 quick things. So for example, sunshine, my cats, my health. Very, very quick. I really, really enjoy that we're doing this at the end of our day. It really makes you have a really good reflection. Even if you're sitting there thinking you have a shit day or you had a shit day and it was just a series of unfortunate events, at least you're sitting there and you're pulling the positive from it and you're ending the day on a good note. And I think this is a really, really good thing. I'm someone, for example, if I go to bed anxious, I wake up anxious. So I really feel like if you're going to bed in a positive mood, you're also going to wake up in that positive mood too. Difficulties for me with the wind down also included the not sleeping with the TV on. So since I was literally probably 6 or 7, I've had a TV in my room. I've always fallen asleep to the TV playing. So this was a little bit of a learning curve, to not necessarily to fall asleep, because I have to say sitting in the silence was weird the first night, and then after that not so much. But frankly, when you have a partner who you've been with for quite some time and you're a certain way, part of the learning curve is having them adapt to your new routines as well. So we had to kind of come to a little bit of a compromise. So we're turning the TV off for me to go to sleep during the week. And on the weekend, if he wants to fall asleep to the TV, I have to allow that. And if I don't like it, I can go to the guest room. We gotta have to, you know, give and take here. I did, however, notice I did sleep better on the nights I did complete a full wind down and did take time away from the TV screen. Even that in itself, if you don't do anything else, if you just stop looking at your phone, laptop, TV for the last hour before you go to bed, I definitely think you're gonna see positive benefits just from that. In the end, overall, was it worth it? Short answer, absolutely, yes. Did I complete the 21-day wellness challenge?
Good morning. It is day 21, last day of the challenge.
Yes, I did. I'm currently on day 25, going strong.
Update, day 33.
And continuing on with the morning ritual and wind down, even if modified to better suit my life and my lifestyle. I'm definitely finding it beneficial to my mental health, my mental wellness, and definitely noticed benefits, like I mentioned, from the first day on, and more energy, more productivity, highly motivated in my day. Definitely decrease stress level, decrease anxiety, and just having a sense of clarity in my life and direction is definitely beneficial. And as I said, this has been really, really helpful in supporting and maintaining my mental health and mental wellness in this really, really strange and uncertain time right now. I really highly suggest this program for anyone and everyone because it's so easy, easily explained, very easy to partake in, affordable, easily accessible. The whole package itself, the program itself, is only $9.99 US. You know, that's really not that much when you're instantly getting it. It's not something you're ordering on Amazon and waiting 3 weeks for. You pay for it, you get it right away, and you can start that same day. If I had to give some notes, this is one of those programs, it works if you work it. Consistency is key. When I was definitely teetering off on the weekends, I definitely noticed where those were my biggest fluctuations in the improvements in myself. So definitely stay on track with that. Another thing I want to note, have an open mind, be flexible. Not every day is going to be a perfect day where you're going to get to complete a morning ritual as well as the wind down. Every day is kind of different and hectic. Be flexible to that. Don't stress, don't hate on yourself if you weren't able to do it. No worries. So if it wasn't obvious enough already, I highly, highly, highly recommend the Aspire with Alessandra 21-day wellness program. If you're interested yourself, I will leave the link down below of how you can find the program. I will also leave Alessandra's Instagram handle down below as well, because she has an Instagram story highlight explaining the program as well, and it would be really nice for you guys to go watch that if you're interested. I really, really hope I've encouraged others to participate in benefiting themselves and their own mental health, their own mental wellness. If you have any other suggestions on what you do that helps you, relax, get in a calm state, how you better focus in on your ambitions and goals, please leave those suggestions down below. I'd love to get a conversation started. So I gotta ask, have you guys ever done a wellness program before? Do you partake in meditation, journaling, anything along those lines? Is there any suggestions that you would add to the program? Is there anything you particularly don't like? So let me know, what have you been doing for your mental health? What have you been doing to help with your mental wellness? Please leave your comments, questions, concerns down below. I really appreciate anyone watching this video, and if you want to like and subscribe, I would also greatly appreciate that. Sun is shining. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.